I'm putting a spell on you with these purple peppers. We are making Hocus Pocus Pico de Gallo. Hey there everybody, I am Scott. Welcome to my Time Machine kitchen. Now, most of you know the Time Machine is usually set to somewhere in the 1980s. But if there was ever a Halloween movie and a recipe that's well deserving of the 90s, it's Hocus Pocus. I absolutely love that movie. And even though I was an adult in the 90s in 1993 when that movie came out, I still just have such fond memories of watching that movie. Now, one of the reasons I think I love it so much is because of the Sanderson sister actresses. All of them are so ingrained in my 1980s childhood, and I cannot wait to talk all about that. But first, let's talk about these bewitching purple peppers. I grew these stunners in my garden this summer. They were actually part of my Elvira garden, and witches of a feather stick together, so I figured these beauties are perfect for some retro Hocus Pocus. Now, we tend to associate certain colors with our Sanderson sisters' hairdos. Mary has purple highlights, so for our pico, these purple peppers and a purple onion will represent our kooky, crooked-mouthed witch. For Sarah, we'll go with the yellow pepper and yellow corn. And for Winifred, I know we think of her as a redhead, but let's be real, it's orange. So an orange pepper and an orange tomato will definitely have you singing "The Witch is Back." To make the work of dicing everything go a little bit faster, just put on Hocus Pocus and chop away. I really love the special effects in Hocus Pocus. So 90s, a little cheesy, but I think that's kind of why I like it. It's so retro. I also like the lack of special effects, and by that I mean you can tell in certain scenes that the witches are strapped to harnesses and they're actually on rigs flying around the set with the other actors down below. It's almost like you're watching a play unfold on a stage. There is not a lot of modern movies that would use that kind of technique, so I really love that. Okay, I think let's start putting our Hocus Pocus Pico de Gallo together. Again, we have Sarah represented by our yellow corn and our yellow peppers. That's all going in. And you might have noticed I'm chopping a red tomato, and I just said that we were going to go with orange for Winnie's hair because it is more orange. Well, I'm doing this for a couple of reasons. One, okay, let's compromise. Her hair is like orange and red. So the combo of these two is a good compromise for Winnie. Okay, so that will go in here. We've got our orange pepper and our orange tomato. Boom. It's gonna make a lot of pico. And then some of our tomato. Oh, the other reason why I'm putting in red tomato is these are tomatoes from my garden, and yes, it is still October. I think my garden is possessed because it is still pushing tomatoes out like crazy, so I really need to use these up. These are actually called Jet Star tomatoes. Perfect for a pico, try to say that twice, because they're very meaty and not a lot of juice, so that's really terrific. Okay, and then we come to our purple for Mary. So you might have noticed, though, there's our purple pepper, and then you notice that the onion is a little lighter, and that's because I did these with a I did these with a quick pickle. Oh my gosh, so many peas. It's so easy. Water, vinegar, and sugar. Bring to a boil, add the onion, and shut off the heat. Cover and let them sit in here for about 15 minutes, and you are all set. I'm just not a fan of the harshness of a raw purple onion, and so by pickling them, it really takes the edge off. Now, by all means, if you love that bite, then go ahead, skip the pickling step, and add in some raw purple onion. Okay, let's talk about some spice now. Whew, that is what's gonna make our pico really stand out. Now, if you wanna keep with our orange and red and yellow color scheme, you don't need to add the jalapeno. You can add some habanero peppers, and yes, these are homegrown thanks to a neighbor. For me, I can't do habanero peppers. They're just a little bit too spicy, so I am going to go out of the color scheme a little bit and use this jalapeno. And I'm actually gonna de-seed it too, because I do not want a ton of heat in this. I want this pico to be for everybody at the party, even the little kids to enjoy. So I'll de-seed it and then chop it up. Okay, and then of course we need a ton of cilantro. Sorry to those of you who think this tastes like soap, but this is absolutely essential for a delicious pico. The juice of some limes, and then some salt and pepper, and then a little cumin, and we are ready to have our Hocus Pocus Halloween party. In 1993, when the movie came out, Bette Midler, or Winifred, was the best known of the actresses, mostly for her 80s movies. Down and Out in Beverly Hills, Ruthless People, and of course, Beaches, which wasn't just a hit at the box office, but Bette's song, The Wind Beneath My Wings from the soundtrack was a massive success. When Sarah Jessica Parker played Sarah, it was still years before her Sex and the City success. But she'd already been in the iconic TV show Square Pegs, and she'd done two of my absolute favorite 80s movies, Girls Just Want to Have Fun and Footloose. Yes, she was in Footloose. Go watch. So what about Mary? Well, Kathy Najimy was more of a 90s girl. Remember, she was in those Sister Act movies, and for our Halloween moment, let's not forget that she was also in The Bride of Chucky. But in the 80s, she was a virtual unknown. Now, in the 80s, she did appear on the game show, The $25,000 Pyramid. All of us Gen Xers will remember that game show because that is what we watched when we were homesick from school, and our moms and our grandmoms were feeding us chicken noodle soup while we watched and played that game together. So that's our 80s moment with Kathy Najimy and Mary. I just love that moment. I found these adorable tortilla chips at Trader Joe's. They're shaped like little fall leaves. So let's try our Hocus Pocus Pico. That pico has so much flavor, and I promise you, you have never had another pico de gallo like this. And it's really the sweetness from that pickled onion that just sets this apart and makes this so unique. Unique, just like our Sanderson sisters. So like all homemade pico de gallos, it's gonna give off a lot of juice. So before your Halloween party, I would strain off some of that liquid, but don't throw it away. Mix with a little bit of olive oil. It makes a delicious salad dressing. So good. Thank you so much for watching this video, but do not leave. If you love retro movies, music, and television, all with recipes that are inspired by those amazing things from the 70s and the 80s and beyond, then this is the place for you. Make this Hocus Pocus Pico de Gallo and have an amazing spooky season.